Mission. Darryl is a business owner and a proud Queenslander who loves his rugby league, cricket and the Gold Coast. His answer to what ability would you like to wake up with tomorrow morning was definitely the most wholesome one that we received. I'd love to be a rainmaker, a drought breaker. How disgustingly selfless. Would you please make very welcome Darryl Willmot.
It's the early 1980s. I'm in my early teens and it's Christmas Day and Santa has come and gone. And he has left me a big yellow skateboard. And I love it. I wanted it and I got it. There was just one problem. Skateboards are hard to learn to ride. It took me some time to learn, but luckily at my parents' place the block was a slope, so I could go down the driveway, around the house, down the footpath and down the back. And eventually I picked it up. And then one day when I was skateboarding quite well, my neighbour, Kelly. Now, Kelly's a couple of years older than me, and she's quite mature. And Kelly liked to display her maturity. And she was quite mesmerising to me. And she said to me, hey Darryl, why don't you take the skateboard up to the top of Nash Street Hill? Now, Nash Street Hill is like Mount Everest. Possibly bigger. And I said, yes, Kelly. I'll do that for you. So we walked to the peak, and I'm shitting myself. And I looked down at some rocks, and I'm about to go. And then she grabbed me by the arm and she says, hey, I'm only joking, you don't go down there, you'll kill yourself. And then we had a moment then. I couldn't believe it. There was a lot of eye contact and there was a lot of chemistry, mainly my chemistry. But from that point on, we became quite close and good mates. And I loved Kelly and she tolerated me. That's how it worked. And then one night, after skateboarding with Kelly all day, about 1 o'clock in the morning, I wake up and I've got this excruciating pain in my leg. And I'm crying and moaning, and it's serious. And my mum comes barging into my bedroom and she says, shut up! I said, no, Mum, there's something wrong with my leg. And like it's later, she said, look, we'll go to the doctor in the morning. But what had happened, Mum didn't really believe me because it was a school night and I had bunged on some injury earlier that year and I wanted to get out of it. But I kept crying and moaning and about 10 minutes later, Dad came into the room and he said, son, is it real? I said, Dad, it's real. I've got to go and see a doctor. So we jump in the car, 1 o'clock in the morning, and go to the Redcliffe Hospital. And I couldn't walk. They had to wheelchair me in, and my leg is swollen up. There's obvious something seriously wrong with me. But the nurse explained, look, there's no doctors here. You just have to wait in the morning. We'll do some tests, and we'll go from there. So the morning comes around, and they do some tests, and I could just sense that this is out of control. It's not an eyelash, Thomas. No. And what happened, they do all these... That was pretty good, wasn't it? So this is the serious part. So they do all these tests and they find that I have a bone infection in my femur. It's called osteomyelitis. And everyone just crowds into my hospital room. Nurses, like 3 or 4 doctors, mum and dad are there. And they say, Darryl, look, you've got this osteomyelitis, it's a bone infection. Now we're going to operate this afternoon. Now if it doesn't work, we're going to have to amputate your leg. I don't know if you've ever faced amputation before. They're pretty heavy, pretty heavy. So everyone gets up and leaves, and I'm sort of left there alone, and I start sobbing and I start crying. I'm a fair crier back in the day. And there was some serious stuff going on, and it's amazing what you think about. The first thing I think about is Kelly. She probably won't like me anymore. But it gets out of control and I'm bawling. They're going to chop my leg off, ladies and gentlemen. And all of a sudden, this nurse, and God bless this nurse, she comes in and she puts her arms around me and she says, hey, come on. And then she starts bawling. And said, look, he's a good doctor. You're a good boy, a healthy boy. And why don't we just pray to God right now and ask him to save your leg? So we say this prayer. I've never said one before in my life, but I said, save my leg, God, please. I want 2 of them. And sure enough, in the afternoon, the operation is successful. It's still there, but I'm in hospital for some time, like 3 months on heavy courses of antibiotics, and then I'm on my way out of the hospital, and the doctor said to me, hey, Darryl, you got to build this leg up. You got to get the muscle strong. You got to really work out, and otherwise this thing could come back, and that we may have to amputate it. So it's not finished, but it's looking good if you stay healthy and get strong. He said, maybe do some cycling and some weights. And I thought, oh, excellent. I can do some cycling. There's friends of the family that live like 3 doors down from my folks, and they're in a club, they're right into it, so excellent. So I start cycling. And it's amazing how much training you will do when someone wants to chop your leg off. So you'll get up early and go for a ride, don't worry. Yeah, no, you will. So I lived at Sandgate. I would ride to Daybrook and back before school. That's what I'm talking about. Like, and then come home and do squats and push-ups and really build it up, build my leg up. And when you put so much effort into something, you become quite good. Like, who would have thought? So I become quite a good cyclist, and I look pretty sexy in my lycra. Kelly said that. So that was extra motivation. And all of a sudden, the cyclists, they have championships, and I was quite a good sprinter. So on the velodrome, they had the club championship. It was over at Balmoral. It's not there anymore, but so I win the club championship, and you're a bit of a hero, great. Now you got to go to Metro Division and see how good you are. And because I just put so much effort into it, and the club coach sort of put me under his wing, and I started riding behind the motorbike, and I become quite good. And so I win the Metropolitan Championship, and I get a really big head too. I do, like I'm so hot. And then I'm off to the Queensland State Cycling Championships at Chandler Velodrome. Like, this is bigger than Texas. And I'm right up there, but there is this cyclist from the Gold Coast. His name is Scott McGorry, and he's the favourite. He's the favourite. And my coach says, hey, look, what I want you to do is all race, it's just a 7-lap race around the velodrome. I just want you to sit straight behind Scott McGorry's back wheel the whole race, and then on the last lap he will take off, and I just want you to hang on like you on the back of the motorbike like we've been training. He'll swoop down into the back straight, and in the last bend, have a go, son, have a go. And have a go I did. So we start the race, and no one wanted Scott McGorry's back wheel, so I just get it straight away. It was hardly a challenge. I'm straight behind Scott McGorry's back wheel, and no one set the world on fire, do the 6 laps, and then ding-a-ding-a-ding, last lap, bell lap. This is when it counts. And Scott McGorry, he was a big boy too, like he had like hairy armpits, hairy legs, and he looked like a big boy in the lycra too. Not like little Johnny me. And he gets out of the saddle on the bell lap, and he's just so strong. I go, woo, here we go. And he's halfway up the bank in the first bend, and then he goes, swoops down into the back straight, and it's like we're flying. And we put 4 lengths on the field. We're just killing it. Just me and him in the race, and I'm just loving it. And then we go into the last bend, and have a go, son, have a go. And what happens is I get to his hip, and then I get to his shoulder, and then the finish line is coming up, and I have one last lunge, and I just go for it. And I think I've won. I honestly thought I'd won, but nope. You missed by that much, Mr. Willmot. And I don't know how to feel. I think, oh, everyone's going, oh, well done, well, it's silver. It's not gold, it's silver. So I'm confused, but I'm sort of happy, and I don't know what's going on. And so we jump in the car and we go home, and I'm looking at the silver medal, and I'm thinking, oh, never mind. Pull up in the driveway, and I look up next door, and you know who's there, don't you? Yeah, Kelly. And she goes, hey, lycra boy. I said, yes, Kelly. What are you doing tomorrow? And I said, oh, not much. She said, how about going for a ride? I said, oh yeah, that'd be good, that'd be excellent. And then it was in that moment, there was no silver medal, it was just pure gold.
Thank you, Darryl. What an excellent story to finish our first half on. All right, so we are up to intermission, but there's a couple of things that I want you to know before we all head out back to the bar. There's 3 things. First of all, the bar is definitely open. You can bring your drinks back in for the second half if you want. This carpet does not need protecting. Second thing, if you would like to be a wildcard storyteller, after the break, what is going to happen is we're going to have one storyteller that has been pre-selected, and then we're going to have 2 wild cards, and then we're going to finish on a storyteller as well. So in the break, if you'd like to come and find me, I'm the one in the yellow dress. You can come put your name in the box, and we'll pick them out after the break. The third thing to know is Has everyone got their little voting pebbles? Excellent. We're going to vote on the theme for the next meeting. So we have our voting jars here. And the two options that you have are, the first theme is remedy, stories about the search for solutions and making amends. And the second one is rumour, stories about secrets, legends and whispers. So I do suggest if you've got a story that you think might fit into one of those two themes, vote for it and then pitch us a story. We're always looking for storytellers. So if your name doesn't get chosen from the wild card, you can definitely pitch us to tell your story up here next time. So those three things, the bar, names in the hat, and voting pebbles. And we'll come back at 10:02 by my watch. 10:02. Thank you.